Hello, Stacy. Hey, Stacy. After the lesson, I'm gonna call you. Okay? Is that all right? Now the PDFs, they're gonna help you. Believe me. All right. Rough Eye. Hello. How are you? Is this your first time here? Rough Eye. Just got booted. Oh, boy. Okay, I'll call you. Izzy, tell him to get into the chat. He's welcome. All right, today, see, I don't have you on my mailing list, Rafi, or else I would have sent you today's PDFs. There's about 17 sheets, okay? And it's a breakdown for Master Studies, Joe Morello's Master Studies, set Part 1 and Part 2. It took me a tremendous amount of time to write them out. And Stacy, yes, I'll call you after 4 p.m. or so. Don't buy no musical notation programs. I have them to send you. Okay? Save you about $1,500. Robert, how are you? I'm so overwhelmed about all the email I got with everybody sending me stick control the first 12 in triplets. That was really nice of everybody. Rafi, here's my email. Email me and I will add you to the mailing list. So just email me. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Now, the PDFs I sent you. Hey, I'm a teacher, and I learn from all my students, Rafi. Thank you for the compliment. Hey, Seth. Seth, I need to get in touch with you. And this is going to be between you and Stacy. Stacy's getting the computer. You have a computer. I'm going to send you some programs to install in your computer. When you finish installing them, send them to Tracy. Okay? And she'll send them back to me. All right, so, hey, Paul, how'd you like all that writing? And Paul, thank you for sending me the PDF or the picture of stick control book in triplets. All right, so as you can see, as you guys can see, it's going to make it a little bit easier for you. Just next, you need a little smack, a nice one, to how to enter this. First, you want to review them. You know, look them over. There's some really, everyone has its own personality. Everyone has a purpose. Every one of them. All right, so we all know how to do the first 6, I guess, or 5. As you see, I'm going to set them, once you guys have tried these for a while, you want to set the metronome to say 60. Okay? And you want to make that, instead of the 8th note, like 1 and 2, and first say hello to these exercises and play them in quarter notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to play that first one. The first, it's like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you got to take note of something here. A downstroke, a lot of people have the tendency, and it's wrong. You're stopping this stick, you're not grabbing the stick. I go nice and loose. A lot of people go and squeeze or grip the stick tightly, and that's very bad for you because the vibration of the stick goes up your arm, and eventually it will create tendinitis or carpal tunnel. What you want to do is just bring the stick down and relax it. No problem. Stop it. All right, so now I'm up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I were you guys, I would actually go from 1 to 50, is it, or 48, in quarter notes. Now look at the second line, number 2. What you have here, and Raphael, do you have the Joe Morello Master Studies 1? All right, we're on number 2. Now you look at it, and you get in position. Now you're going to look very regimented and very mechanical at first. You want to put the movement in place and sound as musical as you possibly can. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get that going on. And I apologize, I couldn't get them all where I had the F or the U or the downstroke or the tap or the free stroke under each letter. The computer was giving me a hard time, so I did the best I could, as long as you understand it. Line number 3. Again, you hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That should be an upstroke. I apologize. On line 3, that last right, you want to cross it out, the T, and put a U there. Now, there are going to be a few mistakes. I mean, really. And I'm sorry about that, but on not line number 3, you're in the second measure. That's 3 and 4 and. You have to come up on the last one. I'll have to fix that. Okay, line 4, same thing. On the and of the second measure, the 4 and, the and of 4 in the second measure is an upstroke. I apologize. All right, so now you have. Now it looks like I'm stiff, but I'm not. It's all very, very relaxed. Okay? So just change on line 3 and line 4, the last, on our 4 end of each line, the and of the 4 should be an upstroke. Okay? What happened was I went back to correct my mistake, and it didn't autofill by itself. So that was the problem. But it took a long time to write these. Line 5. You have 1 and 2 and. You should start with your hand up like this. My apologies. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and right there again is a mistake. You see, the left should be an up. That's where it's going. And there's one. I apologize for these few. I mean, they really screwed it up. Well, you'll figure it out. When you go to line 5, the second measure, the 1 is a downstroke. The and is a tap. The 2 is a tap. The 3 is an upstroke. The and of 3 is a downstroke. The 4 is a free stroke. And the and of 4 is a tap. Is an upstroke, rather. It wasn't writing correctly. Line 6. Do we all understand that? Who do we have here? Hoist, how are you? Oh boy, how you doing, Jimmy? Okay, are you serious, Hoist? F means full stroke or free stroke. You're here, means upstroke. D means downstroke. T means tap. Now you've been practicing the formulas, you know, doing all eighth notes like this, accenting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't believe that. You understand, okay? You got it, Paul. Now, there's a few mistakes. I apologize. After the lesson, I'm going back to the file and correcting it. And I might have to resend them all to you. Okay? Now, let's go to number 7. Now, I'd like to go through the whole thing, not today or this lesson, but in some period of time. What I've been venturing off into lately is odd time signatures. You guys are going to go crazy with that. Odd time signatures, like, for example, 4-4 to 7-8, back to 4-4 to 7-8. And there's a lot of math involved there. Okay, you understand, Hoist? Jimmy, thank you for sending me your picture of the left-hand side of stick control written out in triplets. I sincerely appreciate that. You too, Paul. You too, Robert. And you too, Hoist. Actually, and Seth, you too, all right? Actually, there was only one person who sent me an email, all right, with them written out. That was Stacy. Thank you very much, Stacy, for, you know, doing what you did. And I'm sure now, because you were into it and you wrote it out, you're able to play it a lot better. That's the objective. Well, before you can get there, Jimmy, you got to do it like this, all right? Instead of at 120, you start off slow, 1 through 5. Now, right now, we're on number 7. Now, the first stroke you have is a tap. First off, you're going to have to start up here on number 7. You have a tap, a free stroke. Ouch. I'm sorry. Tap, free stroke. Tap, tap, down. Tap, 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 up. That should be an upstroke. No, that should be a tap. You see how it screwed it up? Oh, for Christ's sakes. I'm going to have to rewrite this, a couple of these. When you go to number 7, go to the second measure. The first guy, the first right, is a tap. The second right is a tap. The third right is a tap. The fourth right is an upstroke. Okay? The next one, the 3, is a downstroke. I mean, no, what do I do? It's upstroke, then it's a free stroke. All right, the left is a tap, the right is a downstroke, and the left is an upstroke. I gotta rewrite them. Man, that goddamn shit. Oh, I'm pissed. I'm gonna rewrite them, guys, so you have them. Okay? Now, you have to remember when you come down from the full stroke position and you come as a downstroke, remember, everyone has a tendency, it's a reflexive thing that, hey, I should have grabbed the stick. Jesus, hold on. I'm not doing too good today. I'm really tired. Yep. All right. Now, don't forget, when you come down, you're stopping the stick. You're not grabbing the stick or going like this. You're just stopping it. No tension whatsoever. The tap is just a tap. The upstroke is just a swing up. The free stroke is just a stroke right back to the same position. Guys, I apologize for all the mistakes. I will fix all the mistakes for you and we'll go over it. I'll rewrite it and resend it to you, okay? That's, just do the first 6, 7, the first 12 lines. And I'm going to hear them. Send me a video of the straight up and down. I was going to write these out in triplets, but I just didn't have the time. What we're going to do, that's the first 12. Now you're going to go to the triplets. Now I know Paul really will like these because they're associated with the jazz pattern. Okay? Now, if you go to Master Studies, it's part 2. All right, we're on number 1. Everybody got it? You're doing the triplet. Yeah, it is a lot of work. Yeah, but I'm going to rewrite it and fix all the mistakes. I'm sorry, man. Okay, let's go to section part 2, the triplets. First of all, you're going to do, and hopefully you send me a video on the drum pad, please, all right, of the first 12. Slow. That's the key word. Then you go over to section 2, the first line, slow. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and why is there something missing all the time? Well, I want the first 6 anyway. You guys are going to send me a video at least? Oh, I got to play these. He's telling me, Matt, shut up and play. That was number 1. All right hand accents here. You guys see what I was doing with number 1? Taking the right hand accent, put it on Mr. Floor. And then you play B, B, 4. B, here you go. Number 2. You guys see that? All right hand accents. First get them on one surface, absolutely. Number 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and feel good about it. Move it up on the metronome. Let's say, oh, let's put a tempo here. 120. Get it? Oh, this lesson's going downhill. I'm really upset. I wish it was that simple. So Jimmy, Seth, Robert, Paul, Hoist, and Stacy. And if you'd like, Rafi, you could send me a video. Just email me. I'll put you on the list, okay? And then I'll send you the PDFs as soon as I finish them. All right? And maybe make a video of 1 through 12 and on the triplets 1 through 6. But now you see how they move around, and you could have a lot of fun with them, and how they're all associated. Okay? Jimmy, that sounds like, No, it's not. I'm just really upset only through the fact that I see these mistakes. I just kept going and going and going and going, and when I printed it out just now, it's not right. So I'm going to fix it, okay? That's me. And I'm going to send them to you the right way so you benefit by them. So could I ask you guys why you guys did not send me the triplet and the stick control book and triplets? You wrote it down, you write them out, take a photo of it and send it to me. Was there a problem with that? Paul? Jimmy? Jimmy was either in his pool or laying on the couch or on the grill. You understand? Are you going to send me a video? Plus, now you're behind. You're going to send me the first 12 of stick control book in 8th note triplet formation. Correct, guys? Now, I'm really going to sit at the drum pad tonight. I'm going to move the lesson over in front of the drums. I'm going to sit on the drum pad, and we're really going to take these things apart. Now, you have the first section and the second section. The third section, I was going to write this whole thing out again. The first section in 8th note triplets. That takes a long time. Paul forgot about it. What about you, Jimmy? And Seth? And Robert? And Hoist? You guys forget? Now, you have the stick control book formulas. Go over the accents. Now you should understand what D means, downstroke. Up, U means upstroke. T means tap. And D means downstroke. So if you did the 8th note triplet with the accent on the first stroke, you'd have down, tap, up. Down, tap, up. No tension at all. The height of the stick, I'm allowing to make the sound on impact. I just threw it down. It was louder than this. You see? Now, if I take the stick here, again, and when I make impact onto the drum or drum pad, and I tighten my hand, listen to the difference of sound. This is tight. This is not tight. Relaxed. Same sound. Downstroke, I tightened it up. Downstroke, I didn't tighten it up. You see that? Like I said. That's okay, Robert. Okay. Anyway, please, when you get them done, please send them to me. Like I said, tonight we're going to take this apart. We're going to work on the stick control book and Morello's Master Studies, Part 1 and Part 2. Or I need to rewrite them in a few minutes here, as soon as I get off. All right, and it's going to be on a drum pad tonight. I'm going to put my station in front of the drums, and we're going to work on it. In the meantime, let me ask individually what questions. Now, Robert and I went over this a couple lessons back, and I know what Robert's. Well, that's a good thing. You know, anything you do, that's fine. You get involved with it, and before you know it, time goes by. And then when you have to do something, you're really tired to do it. And I understand it happens to me 1,000 times a day. All right. Now, I already went over this with Robert when he was early for the lesson as a warm-up kind of thing, all right, to loosen up. Now, I'm going to take one of you individually, and I'm going to ask questions. Okay, well, that's good. The halftime shuffle. See, I don't agree with what's written with the halftime shuffle. With that, I'll get into that in a second. And Bernard Purdy. All right, anyway, I'm going to ask Paul first. When you first sit down to play or practice, that's a better term, what do you, number one, where? A stick control book or master studies? Where, Paul? But I'm asking you a question first. When you sit there and warm up, you're going to just sit down and practice now. What do you do to warm up? I'll wait for your response, Paul. Was that what you were working at, Robert? You work a stick control. That's a big book. Now, what do you do? You do, all right, what tempo, Paul? Now, vamping is good. That's one way to do it. But, see, drumming is not a sport, but it's the most physical instrument you can play. So you're using your limbs, and you're going to have to loosen them up, all right? Well, the Stone Killer is a good idea, but here's what you got to do, and it's not that it's boring. It is, but it's not, okay? It's essential. If you loosen up and you did, say, 1 through 5, in the stick control book in full strokes, all right? Don't worry about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Set a tempo and make sure, just the first 5 or 6 or whatever you feel like doing. Because then you're going to go to the half stroke. But you're going to go 1 and nice and loose, 2 and 3 and 4. I'm loosening up my muscles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Repeat. 1, equal sound, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and vamp and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2. Sorry about that. And 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Line 2. 1 and 2 and 3. So on and so forth. I keep getting numb in my left hand. I'm sorry about that. But work the first 5, nice and slow. Nice and say, hello, drum, how you doing? Feel the rebound, loosen the muscles up. Now, once you obtain that, drop it, say 120 is cool. Half strokes this time. Don't skip the full strokes. Do from the left-hand side or a few lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half stroke. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, stuff like that. Do the left-hand side of the page. And I hate the term routine, because routinize, is boring. So I mix up my warm-up routine, but the first thing that I do, without a doubt, is full strokes. I'm loosening my body up because of the physical aspect. Then I'll go to half strokes, or I'll say, all right, I want to kill it. I've loosened up for maybe 15 minutes, and I'll say, all right, let me drop the tempo. Let me pick the tempo up to say 150 and do half stroke vamps. Like you said, 3 minutes and 3 minutes with the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. For 2 or 3 minutes, do that. Or if you don't want to do that, go to the stone killer. After you complete a half hour of that thing, of practicing, all right, then practice what you need to practice. And that's everything. And it's totally impossible. I remember when I was a kid, when I was studying with Joe, I said, yeah, I'm going to practice everything every day. And he looked at me like, okay. It's just impossible. There's so much to practice. But take an area you want to practice and work on it. Get it going on. Okay? The stone killer, like Jimmy mentioned, is cool. Or something from the stick control book formulas. The accents, the development. That conditions you to go down, up, or up, down, or down, tap, 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 up, down, tap, 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 up. You know, whatever it might be. All right, now you take the stone killer. I think we went over, I believe, number 1 with the 8th notes. I don't know if we didn't. Did we do number 2 with the accent on the 1 of each grouping of 4? Like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I think we did. So what I do, instead of going through the stone killer like the triangle, what you should do if you're not familiar with it, but after a while, you know, it becomes in your blood or in your system, what I do is 4 measure increments of the right hand, 4 measures increments of the left. 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Back and forth for 3-4 minutes, okay? And you don't want to move the accent yet to the and, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's a little bit different, okay? Now, when Seth was here, you know, Seth is a really good student, and he's on his way to becoming, I don't know, whatever great means, or greatness, or whatever. But he enjoys playing, he enjoys working hard, he takes and he accepts everything as a challenge. So there was one exercise, I told him to loosen up, stop, you know, stiffen up. So what I did with him was I showed him an exercise. I think it was the stick. Yeah, it was the stick control book. I don't have the exact page, but it's the one where you go 1 and 2 and. That's the 4 measure increment. So we did that for a while, and we tagged a vamp on it. If you remember that, was 4 measures of single strokes. Now, once we did the 4 measures of single strokes, we extended the vamp for 3 minutes. Now, I don't know if this, let's try it here. Okay, so you have 1, 2. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll do that for 3 or 4 minutes. And watch what happens to your hands. Guaranteed you'll be smoking and flying. Now, I apologize for being upset, and I think you would be too if you did all that work and it didn't come out on the printer. Is it page 24? No, it's not page 24. I don't think it's that. I think it's page 13 or 14. I don't have the stick control book. We'll go over that tonight on the drum pad, okay? Now, I really would like or appreciate everybody sending me, like Stacy did, the left-hand side of stick control book in 8th note triplets. The triplet accent for number 1. Well, it's not a triplet accent. What you're doing, okay. Let's take line 1 of stick control book. I'm going to play it here so you can hear me. 1 and, let me play it on the snare drum. You can't see it. All right, let me do it on Paul's drum pad. All right, so you see the first line of stick control book. It's written out in 8th notes. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the way it's presented. Now I'm taking that same line. I'm going to maintain the same sticking, but I'm going to think 8th note triplets. No accent. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you really can't hear it there or see it there. It's simple. Well, when you go to line 3, you will definitely feel it. Line 3 is written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and the 8th note triplets. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. I'm sorry. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 4 and the boom. 2, 3 and 4. Do the power triplet line 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now triplets. Get it? 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That you need a 3-measure increment. That's when the 3-measure increments begin, Stacy. What is that, exercise 5 from syncopation? What is exercise 5? Got it? All right, you got it. Let me address it. Who's this guy? I don't know. Georgian? I can't pronounce your name. I'm going to call you Jurgen. Is that it? Jurgen, email me. I'll send you some PDFs. All right? Now I'm going to have to close the lesson up right now because now it's been 45 minutes. And I like this 2 days a week because I could spend an hour. So we'll see if we're going to not continue 2 days. This has to be more than 2 days, maybe 3. We'll cut down to 4th. And we'll do an hour a day, or hour or less and over. Now, let me see what we got here. I'll stay a little bit. I have the syncopation book here. What is that page? Exercise 5. I don't know what exercise 5 is. It comes in lessons. You're doing lesson number 5? Is that what you're doing? If you tell me what page you're on, I'll go over it real quick. Myself, we are working with EX, that means exercise 5 from the syncopation book. I don't see an exercise 5. I see a lesson 5. Is that what you're talking about? No, from now until September, the lessons are Wednesday and Thursday, okay? And we'll decide what we want to do come September. If you want to go back to 4 or do 3, whichever you think is better. I'm looking for Jurgen. Jurgen! What page in the syncopation book are you? Page, P-A-G-E. I need a response. And Stacy, I'm going to call you later. And Seth, I'll get in touch with you sometime today or maybe tomorrow, okay? But you got that program coming. Actually, you could have 2 programs. I have the Sibelius, and I have what used to be the original Encore. It's called GVOX now. So did I. Page 41. Oh, I'm sorry, that's exercise 4. I see, all right. Page 41 is exercise 4. All right, now, you understand what the term syncopation means, correct? Everybody get this syncopation book? We're going to go to page 41. Okay? The term syncopation means to change the feel. So, what we have, for example, you could read the syncopation book a few different ways, but the way I present it is straight up and down, 2 and 3 and 4. And that's straight up and down, 2, 3. Now I'm going to swing it, that changes the feel. 1 and the 2 and the 3, the 4, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the. Now, if I go to page 41 and read that straight up and down, I'm going to take the first line only. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That's written straight up and down. All right? .42. All right, I'm on 41. I like 42. Play it against triplets with the left hand. All right, I gotta go. But Jurgen, go to page 42. I mean, if you come back tonight, we'll definitely work on page 42. I will be on my favorite drum pad, which is this guy. Okay? So you can hear me. Now, Jurgen, email me, please. And who do we got here? And Rafi, email me. Okay, no questions. See everybody tonight. We'll do a little bit about the halftime shuffle, maybe tomorrow. This is going to be a long, long lesson tonight. Okay. Happy 4th. Write out the triplets. Por favor. See everybody tonight. 7 p.m. or maybe a little bit before. Okay? Everybody have a good rest of the day.